Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
The Bishop of Texas announced the Racial Justice Initiative at the 171st Diocesan Council of the Episcopal Diocese of Texas. It consists of 2 funds and 4 scholarships and serves as a missionary vision for racial justice to repair and commence racial healing for individuals and communities directly injured by slavery in the Diocese of Texas. With a $13 million commitment towards racial reconciliation, it funds projects and scholarships for the future training and education of people of color. At this time, applications are pending before the committee for both the John and Joseph Talbot Fund and the Reverend Thomas Kane Fund. Other scholarships include the Dr. Bertha Sattler Means Scholarship and the Reverend David Taylor Endowed Scholarship. We are pleased to announce this year's recipients of the Henrietta Wells Scholarship Fund. The monies in this fund are designated for students attending historically Black colleges and universities across the Diocese of Texas. Henrietta Wells was a social worker and educator who attended Wiley College. There, she was the first female member of the historic debate team on which the movie The Great Debaters was based. Among several professional posts, she worked in higher education, having served as Dean of Women at Dillard University, a Methodist HBCU in New Orleans, Louisiana. The wife of the Reverend Wallace L. Wells, she was an active laywoman in the Episcopal Church. Although she lived in many cities, working in numerous churches as she supported her husband in his ministry, the Reverend and Mrs. Wells founded a church in Gary, Indiana, that is listed in the National Registry of Historic Buildings. She was a devoted member of the Daughters of the King and very active in the 135th Street YMCA in New York City, New York. Mrs. Wells ended her life of ministry at St. James, Houston, located in historic 3rd Ward. She died at the age of 95 in 2008. This year's scholarship recipients are Barrett Bailey of Hope Episcopal Church, Houston, a graduate student studying health administration at Texas Southern University. David Burrows of St. Francis of Assisi in Prairie View, attending Prairie View A&M University, majoring in civil engineering. Sean Cooper of St. James Episcopal Church, Houston, attending Prairie View A&M University, studying mechanical engineering. Jalen Jones of St. James Episcopal Church, Houston, attending Texas Southern University and majoring in biology. Jojo Mill Graves of St. Francis of Assisi in Prairie View, attending Prairie View A&M University, majoring in education. Ian Tynes of St. James Episcopal Church, Houston, attending Texas Southern University and majoring in communications with emphasis on radio, television, film. And finally, Cragnell Wright of St. Francis of Assisi, Prairie View, attending Prairie View A&M University and majoring in general music. Congratulations to the 2021 spring semester recipients of the Wells Scholarship. The Texas Pauli Murray Scholarship recipients for fall 2020 are Maria Umana and Ryan Hawthorne.
Hello, my name is Maria Victoria Umana. I was born and raised in El Salvador, and I'm grateful that I am a recipient of the Paul Murray Scholarship. This scholarship has opened up a pathway that I didn't think was possible for me due to financial constraints. As an immigrant from El Salvador, I had dealt with many obstacles throughout my life, such as language barrier, assimilation into a new culture, and financial difficulties. That makes it seem impossible to fulfill my deepest desire of becoming a presbyter. Thankfully, through the kind and generosity of all those who had contributed to the scholarship, I am able to embark on a new journey to dedicate my life to God as a presbyter. I feel God's blessing through your contribution, your donation, because this made possible for people like me to be a better equipped to serve God. May God continue blessing to abide in your kind and generous heart.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising.
The words "lift every voice and sing" are synonymous with the mission of the Texas Pauli Murray Scholarship. And here to tell us more about this is Ryan Hawthorne, one of the first ever recipients to be awarded this honor.
Pauli Murray was a role model to the best of the best, including Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who wrote briefs based on Murray's article, Jane Crow and the Law. Ginsburg said we owe so much to her courage, to her willingness to speak out when society was not prepared to listen. She was the first Black woman to earn a PhD in judicial science from Yale Law School and later earned a master's in divinity from the General Theological Seminary. A civil rights activist, a labor organizer, a lawyer, a priest who was named a saint by the Episcopal Church, an author of the prodigious non-fiction work States' Laws on Race and Color, which Thurgood Marshall called the Bible for civil rights lawyers. Murray accomplished much and yet suffered greatly due to racism and gender identity bias. But years after her death, her message still rings true and strong. Professor Jennings, who teaches Anglican studies at the Seminary of the Southwest, always encourages us to look for the voices that add to and deepen our tradition and light our way. In listening to the words from Lift Every Voice and Sing, I realized that the Texas Pauli Murray Scholarship will help my generation and my daughter's generation do just that. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise, high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
You can help lift every voice by donating to the Texas Pauli Murray Scholarship for low-income African American students and other students of color to attend the seminary in preparation for priesthood in the Episcopal Diocese of Texas. The scholarship provides financial support for living expenses for these seminary students, in addition to a full tuition grant and other assistance provided directly by the seminary. Let every voice become a gift, and let every gift become a voice that matters.
Visit www.edotracialjustice.org to learn more about the Episcopal Diocese of Texas Racial Justice Initiative.